Guys, deluded gooner YouTube's in Golo Kante. Now, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of international friendlies or international breaks unless it's major competitions. I watch the big games. If it's a mad game like Spain versus Brazil, you know I'll tune in. Shout out to my Brazilian tugs for how dealing with Russia as well. Believe at this point, France, I think Pogba, Kylian got 2 or something. They savaged that Russia as well. And I don't know what going for Russia on current form, given that it's their home country. But in relation to Russia, ironically, throughout the whole season, we've seen players start the season off strongly. Yeah, they might be a wild card for the World Cup. Players that have picked up form and got into the wrecking. Players that you thought were definite at a point in time, maybe 2 years ago or so, aren't looking likely, but they could still go. Or some players that you don't think to go, should go, could go. So let's have a quick talk. The first one, and he's not even on my notes, Livermore. He's not in form, but at the simple basis of that, the fact is, I wouldn't select him, and I don't think he should be there. But on the basis that Southgate, as any manager away from that, just put myself in Southgate's shoes. Ultimately, sometimes you just bring players that you trust, or you know what they can do for you, or just in the squad and things, and it is tournament football, so I have to play it fair, guys, and say that. Added to that, when I'm looking at that squad, you could force you could force Stones defensive mid, but it will not bang on an international stage. You could play Dyer there, he'll do his thing. There's probably a couple of other options at the top of my head I'm forgetting about, but there's not many, and I'm not saying Livermore's a defensive mid, but for me, you'd just purely be in charge of breaking down play, or trying to. So there's that basis of that. He'll probably go, but for me he shouldn't, and I hope to be wrong in that he doesn't go, because I'm not even trying to be harsh. I just come on, yeah. Like I said, he wasn't on the thing, so I don't know why I spoke about him. But Tammy Abraham, I'm not going to play for the Super Eagles, I'm going to try and chase this Three Lions dream. How's the under-21s, bro? Like, you're not going to go. I mean, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I like Tammy, he's got a fantastic attitude, but you got to look at people like Sturridge. Like, he's twice the striker you are at current form, and he's probably not going to go. You're going against some top strikers like Harry Kane and them things there. I mean, you could have been playing, personally, I would have played for Nigeria if I was you, because, I mean, don't get me twisted, it's everyone's dream to play for England, but the chance to play for Nigeria, I don't want to say definitely, but more chance of going to the World Cup, yeah, man, it would just be to actually as well be away from the pressure, because we know we were pessimistic all year about England. The World Cup starts, for them 3 games we think we can do it, and then we're back down to earth. But through the whole time, everything these players are doing are scrutinised. I'm not saying Nigerian-based fans or Nigerians are not going to scrutinise the Nigeria side. They're a mad footballing country and they love their football. Just go and look at the statistics of Arsenal fans. Even if I look at my own YouTube statistics, a lot of Nigerians watch my channel. Shout out to my guys in Niger and them things there. But so he could have been away from certain things and went. He didn't. I know Southgate gave him... did he make his England debut? I swear he did. Or he played in a friendly earlier in the year. There's that. I don't know his stats currently, but if I look at the strikers I'm bringing, Vardy's doing his thing. Kane's doing his thing, to put it least. I ain't going to say nothing about Kane. You've got Rashford that could play up there. And to be honest, even them ones there, like Theo and that, like, they shouldn't even go, but I'd rather bring him than you, to be honest with you. Welbs, nothing to write home about, but I'd rather at this moment in time bring Welbs than Tammy Abraham, because I know I'm going to get with Welbs if worse comes to worse. I might get some defensive know-how, so you get where I'm going. It's not an attack, I'm just looking at the side. So I don't think Tammy Abraham might go. I'd love to be wrong. Sturridge, to a degree he shouldn't go, but on the other hand, a part of me believes that there's a case for it. If you're selecting 4 strikers or clinical strikers, say what you want. There's Sturridge. I mean, granted, didn't he strike against Wales when England were losing in the last competition, international competition we played? So you've got to respect Sturridge. For me, you could have done a better than West Brom. You ultimately wanted to play. They're going to guarantee you playing time. You're a Birmingham or Brom boy, so I'm assuming you're back close to home or around there and stuff like that. But on current form or the current picture, you haven't been selected, you haven't been getting bossed, so it's looking like a myth, and this might be your last one. Another one, Theo Walcott. He always makes a case of playing for England. I mean, he didn't deserve to go in 06. Did he go in 2014? I can't remember. No, he was injured. The one he deserved to go was like 010 or whenever, because he was in decent form and he missed out. Now, this is going to be his last thing, essentially. And he left to join Everton to play, like I just said, and get football. And he hasn't been selected. Personally, if you look at, I'm looking at it from tournament football. If something happens, okay, if I'm England, if we get through and play Brazil, how will they play to the Spanish? Or something might happen against Panama, and then something might happen against Belgium. Different games, different context, different tactics requires different players. Theo, I might bring him on to stretch the game and things like that. There's no guarantee in it. So there's Theo. Smalling looked like to be one of them for sure going, but Southgate's turned brand new and criticised his ball playing. He's not really in the greatest of form for Manchester United, so he's not going to go really on this current form. Cahill is looking a myth. Jones, who started off the season in decent form, is looking a myth. Solanke, another one that Southgate psyched up, another one that I think can play for Nigeria, although I'm not too sure on that one, is likely to miss out. Ben Mee, I can't lie, man. On the basis I've seen Tarkowski and I've seen a couple other men get caps that don't really deserve it. Ben Mee's been alright, whether it's at centre half, at left back. He can play in a couple positions. Tournament football, you don't know. Them ones there. I'm not saying he should go, but you get what I'm saying. He definitely should have had an England cap or a call up in these last international friendlies. Pope might miss out because of Hart, Butland and Pickford. Now it's sad because on current form, if you're picking it on form, Pope deserves to go, and Hart's not really been in form, and Hart was really the one I was getting at really when I was saying 2 years ago or so. I know you probably like Torino then. He was one of them that you'd think's definite. Pickford's very good, but he makes some questionable mistakes, and Everton have been so-so to put it politely. So there's a tough decision out of the 4 keepers as to who goes. Danny Rose, I think Danny Rose goes, but is it the Danny Rose of last year? I don't know what's happening at Spurs, but is it? And when you put it under the microscope, there's a lot of left-backs that could potentially go, whether their teams are good or not. I've said this previously. England when everybody's on form, there's a lot of options at left-back. I'm not saying man will go, but there's Bertrand, there's Chilwell, there's Gibbs, there's even Delph, who was the start of the year, man couldn't get him out of their lips. He was spoken of going to the World Cup. He's come out of the spotlight and things. Whether it was at left-back or central midfield, he's come out. So what's going to happen with Delph? Loftus-Cheek, playing all right for Palace, done all right against Germany, looked to be going. And injuries have shagged him. Apparently he's back fit and he's in training. Palace fans know their thing more than me, I don't know. But will he get a look in? I mean, Cook's leaped ahead of him in the picture at least. Michael Keane too. We've got to speak about Michael Keane. I swear he got England cap this year or last year for sure. Shadow of his former self at Everton. I don't know if it's credit to how Sean Dyche sets up tactically his sides and defensively. I don't know, but Michael Keane's another one. Delph, have already covered him. Klein ain't even been in the Liverpool picture. I mean, when you're thinking of right-backs, he's one of them. I'm not saying he should go, but he's one of them. When you're thinking of Walker, you're thinking of him. These are the ones you're thinking of to play for England, and he's out of the picture, to be honest with you. Winks, no doubt, there's a case he plays, he goes, but he's been demoted to the under-21s. He ain't really been kicking on as much. He can pass the ball forward, so he should go, but there's a case of him not making it. I mean, potentially, I wouldn't advocate it, but if you think of it on paper, Winks, Dyer and Dele could potentially all be in the midfield at some point. There's also Luke Shaw, spoken of being the golden boy for England and United, and he potentially could still do that. And I'm not going to go into specifics, but you know the domestics between him and Jose or whatever's going on in United. Either way, he played the other week, but either way, he's not playing, and the season, even if you want to move away from the playing aspect, the season mentally and all of these things are not going the way it really should have gone in the World Cup year. And I've already spoken about the competition at left back convincingly. There's a lot of left backs, to be honest. I honestly believe a lot of these left backs at these clubs, whether you think they're a good left back or not, if they're in form, then the competition for left back, especially right back, Walker's cleared it, man. He's cleared it, but left back, there's some real decent options, or man, you can make a case for. Even Delph was doing his thing at left back. Do you get it? There's not much more to be said, guys, man. Just a quick little vid. I don't even care too tough. I don't even know the purpose of this vid. I just thought, I'm just sitting here making other vids, and this came to my head. Then I thought, let me wrap up some notes. Guys, Deluded, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. Without you, I'm nothing. So it means the world that you guys watch this. Yeah, I'm out. Follow me on my socials, DeludedGuna04, DGuna04 on the Snapchat, Deluded Guna, SoundCloud, that for the podcast. I'm out, man. You guys know I'm the best at this thing, and that's not me being cocky. That's just me being honest. Like, these guys ain't like me. These guys ain't built like me. These guys don't make stuff like me. These guys ain't got the work rate like me. They might have fancy little things flying across the screen, but you get me? I'm 30. Guys, DG.